Matthew Lloyd!
Welcome back to the Sunday Footy Show. It is time for the deep dive. And on Thursday night, guys, Essendon would have played the Adelaide Crows. I want to go back to one of the most famous finals of all time. It was 1993, the preliminary final. Let's take a look at the halftime scores in that game. There it is, 12-12 to 6-6 at halftime. The Crows led by 42 points. And then you thought they're home. They're going to play against Carlton next week in the grand final. But let's take a look at some of those goals in the last quarter from Essendon. The most famous one was Timmy Watson at the end. But here's Darren Buick. He kicks one, gives them a little bit of hope there. Darren Buick. Gary O'Donnell obviously was a super player through that period. He kicks the next one, Bill, and suddenly you thought, you got a little bit of a chance here. Did Timmy Watson come back?
On the left,
On the left. And this was the one a lot of people remember, the sealer from Timmy Watson. You see James Hird jumping up and down in the goal square. They knew they were through, and the Baby Bombers went on.
What'd you win by?
I'm not sure exactly what it was, but Graham Corns was the coach, TJ.
Yep.
Kane Corns was in the crowd.
Where? There.
He was there.
There's Brian Taylor.
Can I ask, what was the catalyst for the turning point? Was it some words of wisdom from Sheeds at half-time? What was it?
He threw the magnets around a fair bit, and here are the full-time scores there. I'll get out of the way. 11 points it was, Bill. And Kano, what's your memories of that game? Your father was the coach.
I was there. I was 10 years of age with Chad Lauder, and at half-time, I remember Chad was giving it to the Essendon fans, saying, we're through to the grand final as a smart Alec 13-year-old. And then by three-quarter time when you were done, I just remember going to the change rooms after the game and seeing my heroes and footballers you look up to genuinely in tears, and Dad was absolutely heartbreaking. I'm not sure Dad's ever gotten over it, to be honest, because the following week Essendon go on to win the flag, and I guess the thought that could have been them. But yeah, it was one of my first footy memories, and yeah, it's clearly shattered.
Do you think of things like that, and I appreciate the fact you didn't play in '93. Is that the sort of thing you think, I would have loved to have been a part of that particular group on that particular day?
Oh, no doubt. They were kids, TJ, that just threw caution to the wind. Sheeds threw the magnets around. Adelaide may have played safe, and that's quickly what can happen in a big final. Just want to go through one of the best home and away games we've ever seen. This was it, round 14, 2009. St Kilda would have played Geelong in this round. They went in 13-0, the two teams. Biggest ever crowd at Marvel Stadium, 54,444.
Great game. And they both played in the grand final that year, of course. And it was tough, it was hard. I remember Linger, he copped one early, he got bashed, and it was just an unbelievable game. And this is the end. Bill. Yeah. Look at this, Michael Gardner, I think he sprinted from the wing. From the wing. There's Mark Blake, his opponent, just couldn't get there. That is a really good, strong mark. Goes back, kicks the goal. Geez, a good, tough game, this one.
I'll never forget the atmosphere, Damo, of that one. But I want to go through the best home and away game you have seen on TV or been there live?
Yeah, it was a live one, SCG 1994, also involving St Kilda, and this time against the Swans. It was a Lockett game where he kicked 11, knocked out Peter Caven, came from 57 points down in the last quarter, Brownie, and got up, and then he was a Swan the year after.
TJ?
What was I forget the circumstances, I was there. Was it St Kilda and Hawthorn at Waverley? Timmy Watson was coaching St Kilda, and it might have just been...
massive comeback.
Would have been the death knell, I think. I think it was
Timmy,
like 10 goals or something
right,
down, and they turned it around. It was an amazing effort.
Back in 2000, the Bulldogs played Essendon. Essendon were 20-0, and we threw the magnets around, as you said. Chris Grant kicked the goal with about 5 seconds to go for the Bulldogs to win. That was the best one I've ever played in.
Bill?
That would have been it, that one there. That was an unbelievable game. Or when I kicked 11 at the Gabba. Still a record, Lauder.
Yeah, Bill, good effort there. Hawthorn were due to play Carlton, and it's nothing better than a goal after the siren. This one came from Benny Dixon. What I loved about it, he takes a big grab. They're down by 3 points, and just the amount of guys
on the mark.
On the mark. It's a great goal, absolute great goal. And it's another one, Damo. I want to go back to you. Anything you remember after the siren? We know what Bill's going to talk about, but any big moments after a siren that's famous for you?
Brad Johnson had 2 goes at it, didn't he? And missed both. Look, I'm a North supporter, as you know. The Malcolm Blight one after the siren at Princes Park was the best one.
Well,
how far to go?
Speaking of North, 180 metres now.
We've got it. I mean, we've got that one. We've got Malcolm Blight.
Yeah. Have a look. How far to go, Lauder?
That's 80, that's 80 metres.
80 metres? 75, 80 metres. It's got to be.
Was it Kerry Good in the night grand final of
after the siren?
After the siren, which killed Collingwood's grand final dream.
The one Buckenara kick with the 15-metre pentalty against Jimmy Steins. That was still 45 metres out to put him into the granny. Yeah.
And Bill, yours, of course?
Well, I suppose, in a final. You've got to do it in a final after the siren. Very, very difficult from 60 metres out. They're the hard ones.
Cornsey, you got a moment for us?
Yeah, I just, when I was a Crows fan as a youngster, Rod Jamieson kicked one against Fitzroy at Footy Park. The Crows came back from behind us from 50. It was an unbelievable kick in pretty wet and slippery conditions. So that one sticks out for me once again as a kid in the crowd.
And remember Favola kicked one from the boundary?
Against the Crows.
Against the Crows? That was unbelievable.
That one. And I just wanted to touch on now, the Bulldogs were due to play the Brisbane Lions, and this ripper goal from Brad Johnson. See Brad here, he was a superstar player. Brad Johnson out of midair.
Oh, Jono.
Kicked that goal in a big
assassin.
win for the Western Bulldogs there. And he didn't win Mark of the Year that year. That was 2005, goal of the year, sorry. Chris Judd won goal of the year for this one. That'll lead me to my big ask shortly. But I was surprised this one won it, Bill.
Well, it's not a bad. He's got through 3, had a bounce. Not a bad goal. But I did like Jono.
And it brings me to
Went
the big
to Rowan
ask.
Smith
This
too and
is
gave him a kiss.
the big ask, Bill, for today's deep dive. So it's Chris Judd v Dustin Martin. So Dustin Martin currently has 225 games under his belt. These are the stats of Judd after 225 games. So Dusty's got 1 premiership on him, 1 Norm Smith. Judd's got 1 Brownlow on him. Judd's got 3 more All-Australians.
Yeah.
Disposals the same, but Dusty kicks more goals than Judd does and makes you pay. So Damo on the spot here, who in their prime.
I'd take Judd,
best.
just purely because I reckon he did it from game 1.
Yeah.
And Dusty, I mean, being critical, aren't we, of a legend already, but he probably took 3.5 years to find the true form.
I would have gone Juddy, but he's married to Beck, so I'd go Dusty.
Good, Tony. Very good.
That's good.
I'm going to go Judd just because in that era he was tagged pretty much 95% of those games and was still able to do that. You don't get tagged very often these days.
I'm going to go Dusty because he'll get another couple of more All-Australians. He'll win a Brownlow. Kicks more goals.
Just a name, Cornsey, Judd or Martin?
Judd for me, Lordo.
Yeah. And Judd just for me as well, TJ.